Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's TPM5 here, back again with another NBA video. And in today's video I'm going to be previewing the Houston Rockets off-season, talk about their salary cap, some young prospects they can draft, and also some draft and trade rumors as well. Without further ado, let's get started. This season, the Houston Rockets started the year with a 10-9 record. Obviously, as you guys know, James Harden was traded, and the team's fortunes took a hit. They went on a streak of winning 2 out of a possible 17 games, and they finished the year with a 17-55 record, which isn't good, albeit after losing James Harden, it was quite clear they had committed to a rebuild. Now, this season, the team has been surrounding controversy regarding the James Harden trade return. Personally, I don't believe they got enough back in return for him, as it pretty much boiled down to a lot of Brooklyn Nets draft picks, Kelly Olynyk and Avery Bradley. It's not exactly the greatest return for a player of James Harden's caliber. However, they do have the control over Brooklyn Nets draft picks for the next 4 to 5 years, so that's a plus, I guess, if the big three do break apart. Just a quick break, guys. I make NBA content 2 to 3 times a week, and the next off-season preview is going to be the Orlando Magic, so please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that, and like the video too because it would help me out a lot. Now, as you guys can see, the salary cap table's on the screen. Now, when you look at this, the first thing that stands out is John Wall's contract. He makes $44 million next season, so in the 21-22 season, and he has a player option for $47.3 million, which he'll be quite silly not to take. So that's the first thing. You have Eric Gordon as well, he's an old, pretty useful veteran, but he's signed to a long-term deal until 2024. Now, there's been a bit of trade rumors surrounding those guys, so obviously I think that would be something for them to look into, and we'll talk about that later. Christian Wood presents himself as a great value player with the team until 2023, making around, let's say, 28 million over the next 2 years, so a very good value deal. Then you have expirings like Kelly Olynyk, Dante Exum, and DJ Wilson. They have DJ Augustine on a deal until 2023, with the last year of that not guaranteed, so you probably won't receive the full amount of money. But just touching on Kevin Porter Jr., he's been a great pickup for them, very cheap from the Cavs, and obviously the Cavs are ruining the opportunity that they missed there with him, but he's been very good for them so far. He started 23 games, averaging 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists, so it looks like he can fill that kind of mold of James Harden, or at the very least be a very good and consistent starter for them in the future, and he's with the team until 2023 with a team option for that season. And just touching on another solid young player for the team, Jae'Sean Tate made the All-Rookie First Team with I think 57 or 59 votes, first place votes for Rookie of the Year, but he did make the All-Rookie team, and he actually led the team in total points, rebounds, and assists. Obviously, with the amount of chopping and changing of the roster, that kind of makes sense. But he's with the team for the next few years like Kevin Porter Jr., and he also proves to be another key player. But that's enough contract and I guess personnel talk. In the long term, the Rockets do have enough flexibility, but as always with the younger teams or teams with a few rookies, they're going to have to pay their rookies, so that kind of fills in. But now looking at some trade rumors as well, so we have John Wall, who's been kind of in the news here and there about trades. I think there was the poll where John Wall said he like voted for leaving the Rockets. Sorry. So if a trade to the Clippers was to happen, it would probably involve Serge Ibaka's expiring deal, which would be 9.7 million. Patrick Beverley is expiring at 14.3 million as well, and Luke Kennard on his 4-year, I'd say 60 million deal. So it would take probably just the combination of expirings and something promising to take him off the Rockets' hands. The Rockets at this point would give him up almost just to get him off their books, and he can still be a very useful player for a contending team, as he was averaging, I believe, 21 points and 6 assists in his first season back. Not full, but first season back, in a couple years. I don't necessarily think that a John Wall trade can happen. It's kind of unlikely, but I think that it would make sense for both sides. And then because you can give Kevin Porter Jr. more time at the point guard spot. And I also believe that Eric Gordon would be, I guess, good value for a team like Boston, say, that need that kind of guy to put some points in. I think he can still have a very key role on a winning team. But that's enough of the trade rumors. As you guys can see, it's Cade Cunningham. Let's talk about some draft prospects and what could happen. So as you guys know, the Detroit Pistons have been shopping pick 1. I personally don't believe it's likely that that happens. But if they do, the 6'8" shooting guard who can play small forward out of Oklahoma City State, averaged 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 3.5 assists, shooting 44, 40, 85. So that's field goal, 3-point, and then free throw percentage. So he's been a very candy player, but I doubt that he ends up getting, traded or effectively traded. Like if pick one gets traded, I think he's pick one. I doubt that he actually gets traded, and I think that Houston will be looking at guys like Evan Mobley, Jalen Green, and Jalen Suggs. At a glance, Evan Mobley is a promising power forward who can play minutes at the center, as he is 7 foot, averaging 16.4 points and 9 rebounds, shooting a pretty good 30% from 3, albeit the 3-point line in college is closer. You have Jalen Green of the G League Ignite, who's a very promising scorer and probably is going to be the best scorer in the draft. And then you have Jalen Suggs, who's comparable to De'Aaron Fox, plays with great pace and is a great rebounder for his height, and a good piece for them to look at drafting. But that's it for the video, guys. Please don't forget to comment, Houston fans, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.